just like, I mean, if you look at it musically, I mean, a country album is not a rock album, it's not a rap album. So it's like, it's all like different. And my special, you know, I did some topical shit, but most of it, what it was about was me being trying not to be an angry asshole and pass this on to my kid and be a better husband and just realizing how difficult I am to live with. That's what the main thing was about. But most of the people that asked me the questions went for the same like hot topic fucking shit.
Right, like Me Too stuff, this and that, blah,
and
blah,
tried
blah.
to say that. Which was, you know, that whole thing was fucking, because LA would say, you know, it was pretty harsh and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, what, the part where I said it happened to me and no one would give a shit because I was a guy? Like, they didn't even fucking, you know, they didn't even ask questions about that. It was all just like...
They just want to create, it's just all about creating more stuff.
Well, no, they're hacks. And what's funny is if I told, who the fuck did I think I just said this on Rogan. Like, if I said the same 10 jokes you said, and you said the same 10 jokes everyone, we would be looked at as the worst fucking comics out, just hacks. Okay? But if you're a journalist, for some reason, they can all ask the exact same 5 to 10 questions. And you just want to be, don't you have any pride in what you do?
Yeah.
Don't you want the person that you're interviewing in to be like, wow, man, I nobody ever asked me. That's a great, for them to enjoy it, as opposed to rolling their eyes like, fuck this again. And just, I had a guy started an interview and he goes, don't be alarmed by these questions. I actually liked your special. And then it was just one fucking.
Fuck him.
I mean, not.
Yeah, but still.
I'd never take it to fuck him. It was just like, it was just disappointing. It was just like, oh God, this again?
Well, there's just no it's just like, there's no individuality. It's,
Well, I think what it is because there's so much shit to look at there that you have to go with controversy just to get people to stop. So you get clicks on your website and then there's like advertising hits. And the dangerous thing about that is when that's where you're steering the ship, you're going to go at somebody who didn't do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And eventually you could get them caught up under the fucking farming equipment, which has happened to a number of comedians who got caught up in the fucking wake of that Weinstein shit. And, you know, just to watch all of these so-called social justice warriors to sort of just collectively turn a blind eye to that because they're so worried about like losing this hold that they have. And it's just like,
but they're losing the hold. Do you feel, I mean, that hold I feel like it's like, I feel like so many more people go out to see comedians that have podcasts.
No, I think that it's just adjusting to where it needed to go. It probably had to go past. It had to go into like a witch hunt phase, and it's going to adjust to now that if somebody does something like that, that someone can say something and then it's fine. It is far. It's not fine that the person did it, but they'll be able to. Oh, this is what this is. We know what this is. Let's investigate this. Let's find out what's going on. Blah 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 blah. They'll be like it's. I feel like it's going to a rational place where it was totally irrational before.
Agreed.
And then it blew past rational and went all the way irrational the other side. And it's
Salem.
Which is how, you know.
And then it's
Yeah.
It's going to end up in a comfortable spot. Yeah, I mean, there's just no empathy. It's a lot of times what gets me is like social justice, like that, like this whole like judgment. It's the same people that will say like we need people to have space to learn and space to be themselves and figure out who they are. But then there's no empathy for anyone when it comes to like a word or a statement or something from a decade ago.
And when you go back in somebody's past, it's like you're not trying to find out who they are. You're going back to find the mistake they made.
Yeah.
And then that mistake is who they are. It's like everything else that you did. You could literally be a fucking Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
You know, playing free shows at an old folks home and helping out veterans and all of this shit. Oh. But one fucking time you did X, Y, and Z. That's who you are. And, you know, I just wish that they would like, you know, if somebody does that, hey, we're going back 15 years. I think we should go back 15 years in this person's life. It's like, okay, as long as we're cool with doing it to you too.
Let's go.
And then,
mano y mano.
Yeah. And then we'll find them. There's no fucking way. You can't go back in anybody's life. Mm-mm. Dude, you can't go back 15 months in my life and not find somebody that doesn't fucking like me or I said something that I shouldn't have fucking said. It's just like, it's inherent.
Oh, I've seen a meme today that's fucking...
But everybody does. Yeah. There's these fucking assholes driving around like they're these perfect people. It's like, no, you just don't have a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, but this is the funny thing, is all these fucking people are getting like this home security and all this shit where you can see like the fucking thief and all that. They're going to be recording themselves and they're going to be saying shit in their fucking houses. And all these regular people you're going to find are just like anybody else in the public eye. Like you make jokes. You have the way that you joke with your friends.
Right. It's normal.
Yeah, you know it's a joke. They don't know it's a joke, but then they hear your private conversation. They try to take it out. It's like, first of all, this is a private conversation you shouldn't have been listening to.
Yeah, there's no context. That's the problem with all of social media and everything. That's a problem even with it's like you can see something even on Facebook or anywhere, and you see something, and you just see that clip, that bit, and you're like, it gets a reaction, but you don't see the timeline. So you don't have any context of where it plays.
Yeah.
And so then people constantly react. We got a kid laying in his bed right here who sent this video in. He had a question.
It's related to all this.
All right.
What up, Theo? Love the podcast. What up, Bill? Been a long-time fan. I'm sending in this video directly from my bed with an open-ended question. What do you guys think of that comedian, Shane Gillis, that was just let go from SNL? Or really just what do you think of the situation in general? Thanks, gang, gang.
And you guys commented on this on David Spade was that last night? Yesterday?
Yeah. No, I think I just answered it. I don't think it's fair. I wouldn't want to be judged by one thing that I did.
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago. So that's personally something I wouldn't do. I would never do that to somebody.
Right.
And
it's just not
I think it says a lot about you as a person that you went out and did that to him. I don't think, especially like as you're starting out as a comic or you're riffing and stuff. It's just like, dude, I got a bit in my act right now that like the first time I told it, 2 women screamed at me and walked out. Mm-hmm. And fucking then waited to tell me go fuck myself and all that. And I got into them with and then I honed it. The other night, same fucking joke. This woman came up to me. It's just, oh my God, I feel like you were talking about my life. And it's just like, so what am I though? Which guy am I? Am I that fucking guy that made the 2 women get fucking mad? And then I told them to go fuck themselves and then they yelled at me. You know what I mean? Are they better than I am? You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't get how that works.
Well, yeah, I just don't see how there's no long-term value in it. It just ends up with a witch hunt where we all cancel everybody. And
I also think SNL was getting shit for never having an Asian cast member. So then he said something about Asians, and then they had to look past their own bullshit. Their bullshit. It's like if he gets canceled, why doesn't SNL get canceled? It took him 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
To finally cast somebody Asian. That's okay, but
and
this
Asians
guy
have
says
been here forever.
And this guy says one fucking
drops us, yeah.
That's it. And then he's done, and then that's who he is.
Forever.
Yeah, and this thing, I don't know the guy, so I don't know who he is. But I'm not going to just watch fucking an 8-second clip of somebody on a podcast and be like, okay, I know who that guy is, and whether or not he should. And then forget about the fact that like how the punishment works. Like, I think how the punishment works as far as being a stand-up comedian is if you sell tickets and you're actually going to make some money, you should never do stand-up again.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to sell tickets, it's okay for you to start a career as a comedian or continue flailing as a comedian. It doesn't even make fucking sense.
Yeah.
None of it does. But like I said, I think it's adjusting back, but it's going to take some balls on corporation side to not give into this shit.
Right. And why
because
do they,
I can
though?
tell you this, because God forbid one fucking nickel rolls out the fucking door for an hour. God for fucking bid, they don't give a shit. It's all about their brand and keeping this fucking thing going. And we're not, I mean, I get it to one level. We're not going to let one person fucking destroy a 40-year march.
Right.
I get that, but I just think that how quickly they just cut and run.
But just to stand up and say, hey, look, we understand, we're a company that understands that people are people and we all make mistakes and we all do things maybe out of context from 15 years ago in our life, and we're an understanding company. I think half of the world would support that.
But the thing that they then let this guy go because of that is now you're validating that this one bad thing is who this person is.
Right.
And now he has to fucking carry that. Like that's going to be like his thing. And it's just like, it's
Oh, that would be so tough.
It's horrifically not fair. That's not fair to the fucking kid that did that to him. Whoever started that, it wouldn't be fair to do it to that person because there's no fucking way
Right.
you can't go back and do this to somebody.
And imagine, like, what if that kid's supposed to be, Shane Gillis is supposed to be one of the best comedians ever? What if he, that's is his destiny, or he's supposed to do something novel and
you also
through his
grow.
craft.
You also grow the more you travel. If you have your fucking eyes and your ears open.
Oh yeah,
it's the best thing about traveling because then you have friends, you have frames of references, and then shit that people say. And it's funny. Then you go back to your hometown and the shit that people were saying that was making sense. Now you can step back and be like, that's not right, or that's
Right.
not cool to